Hey, I'm Nick and welcome to my kitchen. Today on Made Homemade, we're making Old El Paso hard tacos. And in my house, tacos are not just reserved for Taco Tuesdays. This is probably one of my top 5 meals of all time, so you know I've used this kit before. We're gonna go ahead and start out with 1 pound of extra lean ground beef, and while we're browning that, let's go over the ingredients in this kit. The taco shells are made of yellow corn flour with hydrated lime, palm oil, and salt. The taco sauce is made with water, tomato paste, sugar, salt, modified cornstarch, white vinegar, sea salt, green chili pepper, spices, citric acid, garlic powder, onion powder. And the taco seasoning is made of chili pepper, cornstarch, salt, onion powder, spices, maltodextrin, sea salt, high monosaturated vegetable oil, parentheses canola, soybean, and or sunflower, natural flavors, citric acid, sugar, silicone dioxide, and garlic extract. Now let's prep the toppings for both of our tacos today. Let's start by chopping up some lettuce. An easy way to do this is to cut it in half, flip it 90 degrees and cut it in half again, giving you quarters, and then dicing it into small pieces. Next, we're gonna need to prep some tomatoes. I'm a big fan of these cherry tomatoes on a vine. I just like the way they pop in your mouth and it's very playful. An easy way to cut this is to put them on the flat part on the top and then cut them into quarters. Once that's done, let's go ahead and start prepping our cheese. I had every intention of shredding my own blend using Monterey Jack with jalapeno and a medium sharp cheddar cheese, but I accidentally bought the wrong cheese, so we're gonna use the marble that I had in the fridge. Once you're done grating and you have a little nub, that's for the chef. And I was exactly 29 years old before I learned that you're supposed to heat these shells in the microwave for 30 to 45 seconds so that they're a little more pliable when you're working with them. Now that everything's done, let's assemble a taco. I always start by adding the meat first. You should probably use a smaller spoon because I filled that up a little bit too much. A secret is to put the cheese next so that it melts, then your toppings like the lettuce and the tomatoes. And I also tried out the taco sauce, even though I'm not a big fan of it. It doesn't really add to the taco experience for me. And I already knew that it was gonna be hard for me to say anything bad about tacos, especially when I started off the video saying it's one of my top 5 favorite foods. But honestly, even a bad taco or an okay taco is a really good taco to me. But let's figure out how to make it homemade. There's 2 areas that we're gonna focus on to improve. The first is going to be the meat. We're gonna make our own seasoning and we're going to add a little chicken stock. In order to make our seasoning, we need 1 tablespoon chili powder, 1 teaspoon cumin, 1 teaspoon garlic powder, 1 teaspoon paprika, half a teaspoon of oregano, half a teaspoon of onion powder, half a teaspoon of pepper, half a teaspoon of salt. We're also gonna need 1 cup of homemade chicken stock and 1 small onion finely diced. The second area that we're going to focus on to improve our taco is the shell itself. These are corn tortillas made from masa harina, which is corn ground with lime. We're going to fry that in a neutral oil such as grapeseed oil or canola oil. But first, we're gonna go ahead and cook our ground beef. Start by adding 2 tablespoons of oil to a large pan over medium-high heat and add our onions and saute until translucent. Then we're going to add in our ground beef. It's gonna be a little harder to get browning because all that onion's in there, so what we wanna do is just try to cook it through completely and cook out any liquid that might be left in our pan. Once all the pink has been cooked out of the beef, go ahead and add in 1 cup of homemade chicken stock and our homemade taco seasoning. Continue to cook this down on medium heat for 5 to 7 minutes until all the chicken stock has been cooked out. Now that our beef is good and ready and smells delicious, let's set that aside and start prepping to cook our taco shells. Because I'm using small taco shells, I went with a small pan. We're gonna add in approximately 1 inch of our neutral oil and heat that to 350 to 360 degrees Fahrenheit. Next comes the hard part, actually frying our tortilla. Using 2 pairs of tongs, the first one to hold the top and the second one to push the bottom part into the oil, you're going to slowly fold it over and hold down while it cooks in the oil, giving you the curved shell shape. Once you've cooked 1/2, go ahead and flip it, push it back into the oil, and repeat the process on the other side. The entire cook time should take no more than 30 to 45 seconds per side. You really don't want to keep them in the oil that long because the hot oil will carry over the cooking process while it rests on our cooling rack. Go ahead and repeat these steps as many times as you have to make however many shells you need for a happy family. I made about 6. Once all your shells are cooked, go ahead and start assembling your tacos. Once again, we're gonna start with the meat. These are really small, so they're gonna be packed full. Then I followed that up with a nice pinch of cheese, and I'm a big fan of sour cream on my tacos, so I went ahead and added some here. I should have piped it in so that it looked a little more presentable, but you get what you got. Then I added a little bit of lettuce because crunch, then a couple of tomatoes. And for the first time ever, let's get a little close up. And now, the crunch test. And you know, these were awesome and delicious. I think I ate like 5 of them. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you like this video, smash that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below what you think I should make next. Until next time, get cooking.